Hello everyone, this is Mumbo here, welcome back, and today we are back on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 64, we have got ourselves a stack of episodes, and I hadn't actually realised this mini milestone until I just started recording. Now the first thing that came to my mind as far as a special is concerned is I was going to do a face cam, because that went down incredibly well last time, and also I quite like doing them. But a few things just popped into my head. The first one being I am still going to have to do it with my digital SLR camera, which is a bit problematic. And number two is that I've actually been ill for the past 2 or 3 days, and I'm still just a little bit ill. And, well, post-ill Ollie, let's just say, probably isn't face camable because I still look just a little bit rough. So I thought I would give that one a miss for today's episode. But if you would like to see a face cam in the future, then please do let me know. But what are we going to be doing in today's episode? Well, it's going to be a little bit more relaxed, this one, just because, you know, I have been ill and unable to record for the past few days. So I am a little bit pushed for time, but we're not going to let that concern us. The first thing that I have to do here is I do really want to light this place up, and what I'm thinking is we need to put a few jack-o'-lanterns up way above these leaves so that we can't really see them, but it is clear that the place is illuminated, because at the minute it is a little bit doom and gloom, and we are using a bunch of torches in here which I don't personally like using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head up to the top and clear out a massive area above all of these leaves, just ready for us to place down our pumpkins. So the space has now been cleared, and when you're actually up here, it doesn't look too big, does it? It's an 18 by 18 room, I seem to remember, and yeah, it doesn't look big at all. When you're down at the bottom, if we just take a quick look, it feels really large, and that might be something to do with, I don't know, the way that we've designed it. Perhaps the roof makes things look a little bit smaller, but if we take a look at it from the bottom, you can actually see through all of the leaves, and that makes me think that we might need to add just another layer of leaves to make sure that you cannot see through it, because ideally we don't want to be seeing the bottom of the jack-o'-lanterns, just because I feel like that will spoil the effect a little bit. Oh, I don't really know. I'm going to give it a go. We're going to place a bunch of leaves on top of all of these little slabs that we have, our little sections, and just see if we can still see through. If we can, then it shouldn't be too bad. We shouldn't notice too much of it. I'm going to need some more leaves. But yes, then I will put the pumpkins on top of these, and we will see how that looks as well. One thing that I noticed as I was trying to place down my jack-o'-lanterns is the fact that you can't actually place them on top of leaves. Can you hear me spamming in the background there with my right-click button? It just doesn't happen, and it's a mildly infuriating game feature. I don't know why it is. Why can't you place jack-o'-lanterns on top of things, or like on top of air even? It's really annoying, because it means that now I've had to change up my whole idea. And if I'm honest, if we take a look down at the bottom, you can't really notice that I have lit up all of these things. You can quite clearly see the orange, that's very noticeable, but other than that, it doesn't look much brighter, and that's such a shame, because I was going to go for sort of a very bright phantom lighting style ceiling, but it turns out that it's just a little bit disappointing. So, I don't really know about this whole lighting situation. I don't know what to do here. A lot of you are probably saying in the comment section, why don't you just use glowstone, or why don't you just place down all of the jack-o'-lanterns on top of something and then place leaves underneath? That would take a very long time, and as far as the glowstone is concerned, I am scared of the nether. I still am. I don't like going into the nether, and glowstone is extremely hard to come by now because everyone has mined out all of the glowstone in the nearby area, so I am pretty much unable to get it without trekking very far in the nether, which, as I said earlier, I am scared of. So no, that's definitely not happening. But anyway, I think I've finished up with all of our jack-o'-lanterns here. I mean, it looks pretty cool from up top, I have to admit. It does look pretty cool from up here. So I think I've finished placing them. Now let's take a look at it from down at the bottom. Yeah, disappointing, I think is the word that I'm going to use there. It's not very bright at all. So what I'm going to do is, so that we can't see through all of these leaves up to the top, I am now going to place a bunch of blocks on top of all of our leaves, just right the way on top of here, just so that you can't see through. It looks like a solid layer of leaves instead of looking leaves with a cave on top. So that's what I'm going to do now very quickly, and then I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Having made that comment about not liking the fact that you can see the orange, now that we've added in the cobblestone above, and the texture itself of the leaves is very dark, almost black in the middle, I really like the way that these pumpkins look. It's a nice little highlight that just sort of pops into view as you walk around the room. And it's these little details like this that make certain rooms look good. So as you walk through, you can see that the orange pops up, and as you're walking around, if you are even like slightly looking upwards, you just see that orange just slowly slide in, and you're like, ah, he has lit that up with lanterns. That's a nice little detail. So I'm actually quite happy with this roof lighting project, even though it isn't quite as bright as it was before. And really, now I think I'm going to call it a day on this room. What I want to say is a massive thank you for the number of lovely comments that you put about this build, because this is the first Hermitcraft episode that I have recorded after the previous one has been released. I always record these Hermitcraft episodes 1 week in advance, and that means that I never see the comments of the most recent episode until after I've finished recording this one, if that makes any sense. But because I was ill, obviously I had to take a few days off, and thus when I come back, I now have the newfound knowledge of all your comments, which were all really lovely, and I am glad you liked this place. But anyway, now what we are going to be doing is we are going to be going away from here, we are going to be going away from my base, and we are going to be heading over to the new Hermit Town. It has been a while since I've been over there, but I thought we would take a look at A, what is going on, and B, a build that I want to be constructing. Now, I don't know if any of you know this, but Exumavoid has got himself a very nice looking wheat shop in the Hermit Town commercial district. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? We have also got a ton of wheat farms over at my base. We might as well set up our own wheat shop right next to his. Create some direct competitorship, drive down those prices, and you know, I've got a little bit of a plan here, and nobody tell Exuma about this because, you know, we have to keep this strictly under the table. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make my prices very low so he can't compete, and then hopefully he will drop his prices as well, and we'll buy all his wheat, and we'll put the price of my wheat upwards, and then I'll make loads of money whilst he sits there in his dirt hut. Does that sound like a good idea? I think that sounds like a good idea, but I must stress this. Don't tell Exuma anything, okay? Don't tell Exuma anything. But that is the plan, and I'm sure it will go very well. So I'm going to start building our wheat hut. Hopefully I can come up with something that looks fairly decent. I'm not going to be able to compete with this, but we'll keep it simple, keep it nice and easy. So let's begin. As you can see, I have gone for a slightly different design. Yes, we are going to be building a greenhouse, and before you say I don't like it, you're not supposed to like it. No, that is the idea of this build. You're supposed to think that's ugly, and the reason for this is because I took a look at this and I was like, wow, that is a nice looking building. That looks like a Michelin star hay bale shop, doesn't it? That looks like the kind of place that you would go to and you'd have to dress up for just to buy some wheat. It's like Marks and Spencer's if they began selling wheat, whereas this one is supposed to be the Costco, the Asda, the Walmart, the Tesco of wheat salesmanship. And for that reason, we need it to look cheap, rubbish. It's just going to have glass going around like this. Nothing too exciting, but it looks like you get good value for money. And that is the most important thing, because you can't have high quality wheat in Minecraft. It's exactly the same whichever way you look at it. So Exuma is going to be charging more just because his building looks nicer. Mine's a little bit worse, so it looks like I'm going to be charging less, and that is the plan. So all I have to do now is gather up some glass, put it right the way around the top, and then inside we're going to be placing down our wheat with a nice little pathway up to the middle that will just have a chest explaining what you have to do, and it will have a bunch of hay bales in there ready for you to pick up. Nice and easy. So there we are, the greenhouse is now complete. That actually took a lot longer than I expected. To get this much glass took quite a long time. I had to go off into the desert, de-desert the desert, and then come back and smelt it all together. But it was okay because we had my super smelter, so it really did fly on through, and that was super helpful. But yes, one funny thing that did happen is that Exuma actually joined the server, and I sort of panicked. I was like, oh no, he's going to see the build before it's done. And he walked over there and was just like, looked at me. I said, hey, and then he left. So I think that means he likes it. In fact, I think that means that we might have ourselves our first customer. But now what we are going to do, and this really is the pièce de résistance, or however else you say that, is we are going to be building a giant sign. Massive, huge sign. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to hop into my testing world and I'm going to construct this sign just so I can get a rough idea of how I am going to be building it. But yes, the sign is going to be massive. And that is so that we can direct customers over to my little wheat shop. Just placing the last 3 blocks now, and let's take a step back. Wow. Oh, wow. That is quite something, isn't it? That is beautiful. That's exactly what I needed. I defy anyone that says that they would not go to a wheat shop that has that above it. I mean, really, look at this thing. It's amazing. It's going to be pointing down to my little store. Just imagine my little greenhouse at the bottom there. That is perfect. Oh my. I am over the moon with how this has turned out. It's just a giant sign stating it how it is. My shop is better than your shop. Oh, Exuma, you are not going to be having any business. I can already feel the cobwebs appearing in your store because there are not going to be any customers once this sign goes up. Yes! I feel successful. This is the bee's knees. I love it. So I think what I'm going to do now is a third-person time-lapse in which I show me building this giant sign above my little greenhouse here, and I'll try and make it so that it looks cool. If only the cinematic mod was actually available in this update, I would definitely do that because that would look really cool. But for the minute, we are going to have to do a static time-lapse. But anyway, it should be pretty good. You'll be able to see me building the full sign in all of its glory. So let us begin. And with that, the sign was complete. Look at this thing. It's amazing. It's gone better than I expected. Oh, I'm so happy with that. It even goes slightly over Exuma's little wheat farm, just so it is quite clear that this is where you want to be shopping. And in fact, actually, haven't thought of this. Can you see it from elsewhere in the commercial district? That is where it will be funny. If you can actually see this from a distance, that'll be perfect. So let's take a look. Yes, I think you'll find you can. Oh man, hang on. Let's see if we can see it from the main entrance pathway. That's perfect. Look at that. Oh wow, that has gone so brilliantly. I don't even know what to say. It's just there. You're walking into town and bam, it just says better. And actually, I think Muse, Spumwack has got pretty lucky when it comes to my sign, because it sort of indirectly points to his meat shop. So there we go. We got 2 for the price of 1 there. I might have to ask him to pay me for that one, because technically it is advertising his meat shop. But yes, that has gone amazingly. I am over the moon with this. Ah, what an idea. This is probably one of my proudest moments in Minecraft at the minute. I don't know why. I've built tons of cool stuff in Minecraft, as I'm sure you're aware. You know, I've done mob spawners, I've done giant redstone contraptions, but at the minute, this moment in time, I feel like this is one of my best achievements. But unfortunately, that is all I've got time for today, folks. I know that this episode has been a little bit shorter than usual, and yeah, I am a little bit sorry for that. I was in fact ill, so there is absolutely nothing I can do about it. Generally speaking, I record these Hermitcraft episodes over a couple of days. You know, I do them over a short space of time of like 2 or 3 days, just so I can break things up, but this time I had no time to do that. So, like I say, I am sorry, but next week I will be back to my usual self, unless of course I contract another kind of illness, which really would be very unlucky. But if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.